Okay, so good afternoon to all. We will start our lecture within 2 minutes. Okay, so we will start our lecture. In previous lecture, we have started our third chapter, that is exception handling and file handling. In that, we have covered types of exception handling and we have seen its programs also. So first I will revise all these things and then we will move towards the next concept. Okay. So first we have seen what is meant by exception and what is meant by exception handling. Okay. Exception is nothing but an abnormal condition and exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime errors. Okay. And sometimes we have to handle compile time errors. Okay. So both the ways are there to handle it. Then we have seen the hierarchy of exception handling, right? According to that hierarchy, Java exception is divided into two parts, checked and unchecked, and third one is the errors. Okay. In checked exception, we are considering in checked exception, we are considering all the compile time exceptions like IO exception, SQL exception, then sometimes runtime as well as a runtime exception and errors are also the part of a okay. So checked exceptions are nothing but the compile time exceptions and unchecked are nothing but the runtime exceptions and errors. We can recover all the exceptions by handling those exceptions with the help of a so whenever we are moving towards the error, that errors are irrecoverable means we cannot remove those errors but we can handle the exceptions. Okay, so this is the difference between exception and errors. Then we have seen try and catch blocks till finally and throws keywords are remain. Okay, so first we have covered try block with some examples. Okay, can you remembering that examples? Yes, anybody can tell me? We have covered try and catch block in previous lecture. Okay, so why we are using try block and why we are using catch block? Already all definitions are present in front of you, only you have to tell
Try
me.
block try block
Yes,
is used for the monitor the exception, means which code generate the exception. That code we are writing in the try block, and catch is used for catch the exception, means handle the exception.
okay. Whether my screen is visible to all?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, no issues. Okay, so we have covered only try and catch block as well as we have seen multiple catch block. Still some part are there related to try and catch. So that part we will cover in today's lecture. Then finally block. Okay. Finally block is used to execute the important code of the program. It is executed whether an exception is handled or not. We are handling the exceptions in the catch block, right? We are checking whether exception is there. If that particular part of a code contain an exception, we are writing that code in the try block. And for that code, which type of a exception is there, that type of a exception we are handling with the help of a catch block. And finally block is used to execute important code. Means if any exception is occurred in try block and that exception is handled, and sometimes it may happen that whatever exception we are handling in catch block, that exception is not present through try block. In that case, our execution of program is totally stopped. So to avoid such a conditions, whenever we want to apply some important message on the console, means on the user side, at that time we are using finally block, and in that finally block we are writing our important message. Okay, then throw. Throw keyword is used to throw an exception. We will see its program in today's lecture. Then throws. Throws keyword is used to declare exceptions. Okay, like catch block is used to handle the exception in same ways. Throws is also there, but how to use it we will see now. Okay, then we have seen these two, try and catch block as well as multi catch block. Whenever we are referring to multi catch block, we are following some sequence. Okay, means the first means the important exception we are writing in the first catch block, then next part of that exception in second catch block, likewise up to parent class of exception. Last option is parent class of exception. Okay, so likewise we are doing the process. So first one is a those exceptions we are finding out at the first time, then next part, that is the we are finding out at the second time, and last one is the main, means parent class of a exception, that is the exception. Though this is the flow of multi catch block. Okay, so now we will move towards the next part of your syllabus or of your Java, nested try block. Okay, up till now we have seen nested if block, right? Same way nested classes are there, in same way we have to use the nested try block. It means we are writing complete try catch in the one try block, likewise. Okay, so this is nothing but the a sample of syntax of nested try block. Okay, any queries regarding this? You can note down this so we can move towards the programs. Okay, so this is the syntax for nested try block. In same way, you are using it for the for loop. Then another one is a nested classes. You can applying it for the if else loop also, right? In if loop, you are writing another if else loop. In same fashion, it is going on. Okay. Am I audible properly? Hello, am I audible? Hello, hello. See, if I am not audible, then you can tell me. Only Tejaswini has told me that my voice is breaking. That's why I'm asking, am I audible? Hello, are you with me? Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarika, am I audible? Hello, Sarika, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, this is the syntax for nested Tableau. Now we will see its one example. Okay, how to apply it in our programs. That's why I have created one simple example. Okay. Now see what I have done. I have written one class that is the exception exp1, then public static void main. In that I have written first try block. Okay, this is the first try block. In that try block I have written two separate try blocks, right? This one is the first try block. Okay, this one is considered as a nested try block for this one, right? Then, and this one is the another try block. So in one try block I have written two separate try blocks. Okay, so these two are the try blocks for the first one. Okay, then see. Now see what I have done. In first try block I have written another two try blocks, and those two try blocks are containing first one here going to divide, means we are doing division process, means arithmetic operation, right? If divide by zero exception is occurred, then this catch block is a get handle the exception, that is the divide by zero. If that exception is not present, then there is a no issue, it will move further, right? Then in second try block I have written one array of size 5 and I am allocating value 4 to location 6, right? That's why array index out of bounds exception is there. If I have allocated this value to location 5th, then there is a no issue, right? So according to that, that exception is get occurred and get handled. And I have written only other statement. It means that in try block I have written two try blocks, right? In that try block I have written two try blocks, and through that I am accessing the. Now am I audible? Okay. Here rain is there, that's why my voice maybe get break. Then for that this try block I have written one catch block, right? In that catch block I have written parent class of exception, because whenever we are handling different exceptions in one try block and we don't know which type of a exception will occur through that blocks, at that time we are using the parent class exception. But whenever we know which type of a exception will occur, at that time we are writing that specific name of a exception. Okay, that's why for these two try blocks, in that catch block we have written specific name of a exception, but here we don't know which type of a exception we have to handle. That's why we have written here as a parent class exception. Okay, and remaining flow. Okay, so this is the very simple example for nested try block. Whenever we will complete our third chapter, after completion of this third chapter I will keep 1 or 2 hours lecture for the practical purpose only. Okay, in that lecture we will cover all those practicals based on the exception handling and file handling concept, means second part. Okay, so first I will open the command prompt. Okay, then set path. And in exception handling there is a one concept JUnit. This is the testing concept. For that you will require Eclipse IDE with you. So we will cover first exception handling, then we will start our streaming process, means next part input output, right? And we will cover that input output part in the Eclipse, so that you will be familiar with Eclipse IDE. And after that we will start the JUnit testing part. Okay, because first you should familiar with Eclipse, then and then only you can directly add the jar files in the Eclipse. Because to add jar files in the Java, you need to follow very lengthy process through command prompt. So to avoid such a process, we will move towards the Eclipse. So we can directly add jar files very easily, and then we will move towards the testing part. Okay, so after completion of this exception handling, we will first cover input output things, and then we will move towards the JUnit testing. Okay, so I will run this program first. As compared to other topics, exception handling is very easy. Okay, only you have to remember that flow, and according to that you have to write your code. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Hello, am I audible? My screen is visible to all? Okay. So we are running this program. See here, I have missed here one double quote, right? So I have added here double quote. Now see, I will again compile it. Okay, and then this is the example of nested try block. Okay, so see what will be answer going to divide. What we have written here, first statement going to divide. Here no any exception is there. That's why that uh, statement is get printed. Then in B we have stored 39 divided by 0, right? It means that here arithmetic exception is get handled through catch block like this. Okay, then here we have declared one array of size 5 and still we are defining value 4 to 6 locations. So array index out of range exception is get occur, right? Then what we have written after try block, that is the other statement which is present in the try block. This one is the first try block, so that line also get printed over here, right? Then normal flow. Now see, this line is not printed on the console, means handled. Yes, Now you have to tell me why this line is not get printed on the console. Other statement is get printed, normal flow is get printed, but this line handled keyword means handled word is not get printed on the console. What is the reason behind that?
Ma'am, it is the array index out of bound exception na, so it will be catch on the first block only, then why the need of catch again, because
Right.
exception is found there.
Right, correct. Okay, so this is the flow of execution of your program. Understood? जर अरिथमॅटिक एक्सेप्शन बी साठी ऑकर झालं होतं ते आपण इथे ह्याच कॅच ब्लॉक मध्ये हँडल केले. नेक्स्ट इथे अरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड्स एक्सेप्शन आहे ते आपण इथे कॅच ब्लॉक मध्ये हँडल केले. मीन्स ऑलरेडी वी हॅव कवर्ड हँडलिंग पार्ट ऑफ अ एक्सेप्शन. That's why there is a no necessity to again handle those exception in प्रिव्हियस ट्राय ब्लॉक, राईट? कारण की आपण ह्या ट्राय ब्लॉक मध्ये हे दोन ट्राय ब्लॉक्स घेतले होते, पण त्या कॅच ब्लॉक मध्ये आपण ते दोन्ही एक्सेप्शन हँडल केले. त्याच्यामुळे इथे एक्सेप्शन हँडल करण्याची गरज नाही. दॅट्स वाय ऍट द टाइम ऑफ एक्झिक्युशन ऑफ युअर प्रोग्राम it will come out of this try block and directly move towards the remaining part. Okay, so in the remaining part we have written only one statement, that is the normal flow. Okay, so this is the execution part of your nested try block. Okay, so you can take down this program so we can move towards the next concept. Okay, so we will move towards next part, that is the finally block, right? Finally block. Java finally block is a block that is used to execute important code such as a closing connection, streams, etc. Okay, whenever we are requiring closing connections, means suppose we are doing client server programming, right? In that case, we have connected client with the server, so we have to close that client. We sometimes we have to close the server also. So in that case, finally block is important. Whenever we are using JDBC concept, means Java database connectivity, right? So in that case, we have to close all the databases after using it. Okay, so all these closing codes are used in the closing connections. Okay, then streams. Whenever we are moving towards the streams part, there are input stream and output streams. So whenever we are using those streams, we have to handle it, and after handling it, we have to close all the databases after using it. Okay, so this is the finally block execution. Okay, so to write all those things, we need finally block. Okay, then Java finally block is always executed whether exception is handled or not. This is the very important statement. Okay, exception is handled or not, then also finally block is get executed. And Java finally block follows try or catch block. Okay, so whenever you will see in your program, always after finally block will be there, like catch block, right? Whenever you are writing try block, catch block must be there. And whenever you are using try block, finally block must be there, either catch or finally or both. Okay, so both are the allowed. Now we will move towards the next part. Okay, so before moving towards throw exception, we will see one program for finally block. Okay, now see what I have done. I have created one try block. In try block, I have written 25 by 5. If 0 is there, then exception is arithmetic exception, right? And I want to print it on the console. Then In catch block, I have handled. Okay, I will first separate it so it will be very easy to see. Okay, now see. In catch block, I have written null pointer exception, but that exception is not present for the given try block. Okay, in given try block, whatever we have written is arithmetic exception, right? And in catch block, we are writing null pointer exception. It means this is totally mismatched to each other. But still, as compared to syntax, this is the correct one. सिंटॅक्स नुसार हे करेक्ट आहे कारण की आपण सिंटॅक्स मध्ये काय म्हणतो ट्राय ब्लॉक मध्ये काय कोड येणार आहे ज्याला एक्सेप्शन असणार आहे तो कॅच ब्लॉक मध्ये आपण ते एक्सेप्शन हँडल करणार आहे पण इथे जे आपण ट्राय कॅच ब्लॉक लिहिले तो सिंटॅक्टिकली करेक्ट असला तरी ऍक्च्युअल एक्झिक्युशनच्या वेळेला तो त्याचं करेक्ट काम कम्प्लीट करू शकणार नाही राईट सो दिस इज नल पॉइंटर एक्सेप्शन and after that we have written the finally block and in that finally you can write your important code. It may be connection closing, it may be information providation or string span likewise. Okay, now see here no any error is there because we have written 25 by 5 so there is no option of any error or handling the exception. Now see, first I will run the normal code and then I will make here some changes. Okay, finally block is always executed and rest of the code because in finally block we have written this statement. Finally block is always executed and rest of the code. Now I will make here one change. I will write here divide by 0. So actually this is the part of arithmetic exception, but we are handling here null pointer exception. So see what will be output. Okay, this is compile time exception or runtime exception. Yes. Am I audible? This is the compile time exception or runtime exception. Yes, anybody can try. Hello. Muktai, am I audible? Muktai.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Answer is correct. Runtime exception. Okay. So this is the correct answer. That is the runtime exception. Okay. Now see what will be the exception. Finally block is get always executed because we have written finally block. That's why this whatever code we have written in the finally block is get implemented. Next what it has printed, arithmetic exception is there, right? And that arithmetic exception is not handled through catch block. That's why remaining code, it means this line is not implemented, right? Because we have written here the code which is having arithmetic exception and we are handling null pointer exception through catch block. That's why remaining part of program is not executed. Means whatever we have written over here, rest of the code is not yet implemented. Only this finally block is get implemented. So this is the use of finally block in exception handling. Any queries? Okay. So take down this program. Now I will make it as an arithmetic exception. Now see how it will be get printed. And whenever you are writing arithmetic, normally we are calling it as a arithmetic. But whenever you are writing in the format of a spelling, please check it. You have to write here ME. Okay, arithmetic. Then and then only your exception keyword is, otherwise it will generate error. Again we have to compile it and execute it. Now see, First, it has handled the exception, then finally block is get implemented and rest of the code also implemented because we have written here correct exception keyword, right? So these are the different ways of exception handling. Okay. Then we will move towards the next throws keyword. Have you taken its screenshot? If you have not written, you can write or take its screenshot. I will wait for 2 minutes. You can take it, and then we will move towards the next part. Okay, so we will move towards the next part, that is the throw keyword. Have you noted this program? We have implemented it for three ways. First one is without exception, then with exception but another keyword, and third one is a with exception with proper exception handling keyword. Okay, now we will move towards throw exception. Okay, now see here, the Java throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. We can throw either checked or unchecked exception in Java by throw keyword. The throw keyword is mainly used to throw custom exceptions, right? Means it mainly used to handle user-defined exception. Custom means user-defined. Okay. So at that time also it will be very important. In normal way we cannot handle the exception, but whenever we want to create user-defined exception, so to handle such a user-defined exceptions, we need throw keyword. Okay. So first we will see its programs, then we will move towards the change exceptions. Okay. So see here, first I have created normal class, then I have created one method having static keyword, right? And now see why we are using static keyword. Whenever we want to use our values, it may be variable, it may be method directly in our main method. At that time, we are declaring it as a static. Main use of a static keyword is what? Whenever memory allocation is get created, there is a no necessity to again allocate memory for the same one. Okay, so it will avoid to create objects for that particular method. So it directly get added in our main method. Okay. Then here I have added one variable over here as a age. Then if I have written age is less than 18, then you are not eligible for voting. So here you have to add the arithmetic exception with the help of message not valid. च्या कमी असेल तर तुम्हाला वोटिंग करता येणार नाही. त्यासाठी आपण काय केले ते अरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कीवर्ड यूज करून ऍक्सेस केले. सो दिस इज द सिंटॅक्स फॉर थ्रो कीवर्ड. ओके, throw new and your name of exception, and here you are writing your message. So this is the syntax. Okay, so whenever you are using throw keyword, you have to use this syntax. Whether am I audible properly? Yes, am I audible properly? Okay, if my voice is not there, please interrupt me. Okay, then in else part normal functioning of your code, then This is the complete method for validation of your age. So after that we are accessing that method in main method, that is the validate. Okay, we have handled exception in the if. Now see, I will provide here age as a 13. Okay, I have provided here age as a 13. So due to age limitation, values get lower. So exception is occurred, and that exception is nothing but the arithmetic exception. Okay. So it will must move towards the first handling the arithmetic exception, and after that it will move towards the remaining. So no, I will execute first this program. Up till now we have not seen such a types of examples. Okay, now see, arithmetic exception is get occurred, and whatever message we have written is get printed over here. Now see the sequence. Okay, I will show you its sequence. First, we have provided here value of age as a 13, means this is arithmetic exception because we have written here. We have to throw for such case arithmetic exception, and in that message is a not valid. In same format it has get printed over here. See, in main java.language.arithmetic exception, this is the package java.language, and in that arithmetic exception is present, and whatever message we have written in that brackets it get printed over here, not valid. Okay, now see, I will write here valid age. Suppose I have written here 20, then see. Okay, welcome to what, and rest of the code is also get implemented. Okay, so now what we have done, we have written our normal function, that is the method, and in that I have handled the exception. Okay, and for handling that type of a exception I have used throw keyword. Okay, so this is the use of a throw keyword in your programs. Now suppose I want to try such examples with the help of a try catch block. At that time it will be very lengthy because of writing all this process, that is the try block, then catch block, then again there is a problem with if else loop, right? You have to write this complete loop in the try block, but unnecessary else part will be written over there. So this is the unnecessary part. So to avoid such a types of problems in our program, throw keyword is provided. So for small part you can use the try catch, but for large part you have to use the throw keyword directly. Okay, so first of all take down this. Any queries regarding these programs? If any queries are there, you can ask me. Okay, so we will move towards the next part. I will close this window. Next part is a chain exception or exception propagation. Okay, in your syllabus they have provided it as a chain exception, but it is also called as the exception propagation. Okay, so both the names are allowed over here. Okay, an exception is first thrown from the top of the stack, and if it is not caught it drops down the call stack. Okay, there are two types of stacks. An exception having two types of stacks, one of the related to caught the exception and another one is for the drop the exception. Okay, so stack is used for the store the type of exception for some time. Likewise, okay. Then if not caught there, the exception again drops down to the previous method and so on until they are caught or until they reach the bottom of the call stack. It's called as the exception propagation. Now see, through this theory you will not understand what we have done over here. Okay, so that first I will open the program. So whatever we have written over here, you can understand it. So first I will open this program. Okay, now see what we are doing here. We are seeing the chain exception or exception propagation part. Means first exception is handled in the second one and second one is handled in the third one. And for that we are using the memory as a stack. Okay, now see here I have written one method m. Okay, what we have done, first I have written one method m which having one simple variable data is equal to 50 divided by 0. Then in void m means in another method I have called the method m. Okay, I have not handled this exception in method n, but still that data is having exception. Now see, at third location means in method p, I have handled the exception for method n because method n contains method m and that method m having that exception code. फ्लो लक्षात येतोय? m ह्या मेथड मध्ये तुमचा एक्सेप्शन ऑकर होणारा कोड आहे, राईट. पण मेथड m ही मेथड n मध्ये कॉल केलेली आहे आणि p या मेथड मध्ये ट्राय ब्लॉक मध्ये आपण मेथड n लिहिलेली आहे. का तर m मधला जो कोड आहे तो आपल्याला एक्सेप्शन वाला आहे, तो आपल्याला हँडल करायचा आहे, राईट. And then we have written here catch, and whenever we are using the propagation, at that time we don't know which type of exception will occur there. If you know according to your previous history, then you can write there it as a known exception, otherwise write the parent class of exception. Okay, so in this way we have handled exception of method m in the method p. Okay, so this is the flow of execution. So while executing this program in stack, which process is done first in location 0 in the stack, right? uh, whether you know or whether you are having that structure, like, okay, you have already learned what is mean by stack, so you know its structure. At the base level, zeroth location is there, then my 1, then 2, likewise. Okay, so at zeroth location this method m is get placed, then at first location method n is get placed, and at second location method p is get placed. And after handling exception in the method p, all these locations are get cleared one by one. Means first p is get cleared because we have handled the exception. Then at location 1 method n is there, then that method is get handled, and after that it is removed, means pop-up process is done. And after that remaining one is the method m which is present at the location of stack, that is the top. And after checking whether that exception is handled for that method or not, if yes, that stack is get empty and your complete execution is get completed. Okay, then for such a example we have create the object. Through object we have access the method over here. If I have written here it as a static one, then there is no necessity to create object to access that method like previous example. Okay, so this is the flow of execution of exception
हॅलो
through methods. Hello,
हा मॅम स्क्रीन दिसत नाहीये.
okay, 1 minute.
Again,
हा कम्प्लीट कोड दिसला होता मगाशी का परत एकदा रिपीट करू?
रिपीट करा मॅम.
Okay. See here stack structure is used. Okay. This is nothing but the propagation of exception. Means we have written one statement in the method. Still not visible?
Ma'am,
Yes.
हॅलो.
your screen is not visible.
Okay, 1 minute. I will leave this.
Try to share once again.
1 minute. I will leave this and again I will join over here. Okay. Don't don't leave the session. Okay. I will left it and again join you. Now check it whether my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, but your voice is too low
Due to rain, it may be happen over here.
and somewhat it's
Yes.
breaking also.
Yes. Yes.
Somewhat it's breaking also.
Here rain is there. That's why it may happen. Okay. I will share its link after completion of lecture. Okay. So it will be clear for you. Okay. Now see. I have written here one method M. Still I am not asked about your presentee. Okay, within 5 to 10 minutes I will take your presentee because link is getting breaked so many times. Okay, see. In method M, I have written one statement. In that simple arithmetic exception is present. Okay. Now I am using that method M in another method, that is the N. Again I am using that method N in method P. But what happened? I have written here one statement which is having one exception. I am fetched that method in another method, but I have not handled. Right. So this is the propagation of exception. But I have handled that exception in method P. Okay, so this is the propagation of exception from one method to another method. And in that I have written the exception having which is having in the method M, which is handled by the N, and now it is actually handled by the method P. That's why I have written that name in the try block. And now we don't know which type of exception will be present in earlier methods. That's why here parent class of exception is written. If you know which type of exception is there, then you can write here that particular name. But whenever we are implementing some projects, in that projects we don't know which type of exception will occur in previous parts. That's why main method means main class will be there. Okay. Then in main method we have created its object, and with the help of a object we have accessed this method. Okay. Now see how it will be get implemented. Okay. Exception handled and normal flow. Okay, what we have written over here, that will be get printed and normal flow is get printed. Now see, I will write here as divide by 2, so there is a no problem regarding your exception. So this will be normal execution, right? Only normal flow is get implemented. Okay. Any queries regarding this propagation or chain exception? So first take down this. Okay, so you have to remember one thing, that whenever we are using unchecked exception, this is one type for unchecked. Checked means compile time and unchecked means runtime exceptions. Okay, so this chain part means propagation exception is related to unchecked exception only. Okay, and whenever we are using checked exceptions, in that case we cannot propagate it. Okay, now suppose I have handled here IO exception or SQL exception in place of here. Okay, there is a one concept, that is the throw keyword. We have seen now only. Okay, with the help of a throw keyword, we have handled some checked exceptions like IO exception, SQL exception. That exceptions are not get propagated to another methods. That means propagation is not allowed for the checked exception. This is allowed with the only unchecked means runtime exceptions. Okay. So rule is nothing but checked exceptions are forwarded in calling check, that is the propagated, and unchecked. Okay. So we will move towards next part, that is the throws keyword. Okay. Throws keyword. The throws keyword is used to declare an exception, right? Up till now we have seen how to handle it, how to compare it, then how to propagate it likewise. Okay. So the Java throw keyword is used for the throw the exception, and throws keyword is used to declare an exception. It gives an information to the
Ma'am,
programmer.
ma'am,
Yes.
sorry for interruption, but
Yes.
your voice is so breaking means while you're teaching. Means
Uh,
we are unable to understand, ma'am. Means it is frequently.
आज आपण इथंच थांबायचं का? इथं पाऊस चालू आहे, त्याच्यामुळे आवाज ब्रेक होत असेल कदाचित.
Yeah, ma'am. And sometimes screen is get also paused.
Yes, due to that issue only, because ranges get breaked. That's why your my screen is also get breaked, or sometimes my voice is get break due to that reason only.
Okay, ma'am.
Uh, okay, first give present. If in that period my voice is get continued, then we will continue our lecture. Otherwise, we will stop here.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, all of you agree with this? Yes, all students.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start calling roll numbers. One. Swarali.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Then 2,
Present, ma'am.
3.
Yes, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. 4. If your voice is not, then you can mention in the chat box. Okay. 4. Then 5. Preeti. Are you there? 6. Ankita. Roll number 6. 7. Hello. Hello. Sarika. Roll number 8.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 9. Okay. 10. Okay. 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 12 is there? Okay. 13. 14.
Ma'am, roll number 7.
Present,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, I have noted. Sarika. Yes, Pooja, I have noted. 15.
Huh.
Yes, Pooja, I have noted your roll number. Roll number 5. 15 is there? Okay, then next. 16. Okay.
Present, ma'am.
7. Yes, noted. 17. Pooja.
Present, ma'am.
18. 19. Okay. 20. Roll number 20. Snehal, your roll number? Snehal Sutar. 17, na? Snehal,
Yes, ma'am.
your roll number is 17, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 21.
Huh.
22. 23. 23 is there? 24. Present. Okay. 25.
Ma'am, 22 is also present, ma'am.
Yes, noted. Both of you. 26. Okay. 27. 27 is there? 28. 29. 30.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 31. 31. 32. 33. 34. 34. Okay, 35 is present. 36. 36. 37. Suraj. 38. 9. 39. 40. 41. 2. 42.
Present.
Okay. 43. 43. 44. 45.
Yes, ma'am.
Naneshwar? Okay.
Yes.
46? Yes, noted. 46? Omkar? 46. 47? 48? Okay. 49 is there. 50? 50. 51 is there. Then 52? 52. 3? Okay. 54? 55? 56? 55. Okay. 56? 57?
Present.
Okay. 58? 58? 59? 59? 60? 60 is present. 61? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
62? 62 is there. 63? 64? 64? 65 absent. 66 is present. 67? 68? 69? 70? 71 to 80 मतलब कौन प्रेजेंट है का?
Yes, ma'am.
Your roll number?
76.
74, ma'am.
74, 79. Anybody has remained?
Ma'am, 15.
Yes, noted.
Ma'am, 27 present.
27. Okay. I will write absent roll numbers in the chat box. Check if anybody is absent, then no problem. If anybody is present, then mention here. Okay. I will write all these roll numbers. Check whether you are present. Anuja, Sarika, unmute your mic. Sorry, mute your mic. No, not Sarika. Mute your mic. Check it once. Okay, all are given present. 52. Okay. $75. Anybody has remained? Okay, now my voice is clear. Yes, my voice is clear. Should we continue? Okay, so then shall we stop here? We will conduct our lecture whenever we are having 1 hour lecture, right? in that lecture we will continue that part. So we will complete this and we will start the next one. Okay. So whenever okay, so we will stop over here, no issues, and we will see that remain part on Tuesday, right?